Hello, my shining stars, Tauruses. Here is your horoscope for 2025, and I will start with your ruler, Venus. That is the planet of gifts, love, pleasure, every enjoyable thing that we have in our life. And important thing to know is Venus has the retrograde phase in 2025, and it will be from March 1st to April 12th in your house 12, house very private house, house of mysteries, psychology, psychiatry, getting rid of bad habits, addictions, work in a faraway land. So if you're waiting for renewal of the contract or any sort of renewal regarding work or your personal documents, it will be a second chance and it will be good news because retrograde Venus brings back to you second chances to finalize something that was started in the past. It's not the good time to get married. It's not the good time to buy any luxurious or any expensive purchases. And of course, it's not the time for any sorts of beauty injections or plastic surgeries. The results will not satisfy you. It will cause the complications. And if you marry on a retrograde Venus, your marriage life will usually last 8 years or shorter because retrograde Venus sets the algorithms for 8 years to finalize that season. And as any TV show has seasons, retrograde Venus has 8 years seasons. And people who usually marry or remarry on a retrograde Venus, they have a seasonal relationship and partnership. Nevertheless, you will experience lots of social events because Venus will not just go retrograde, it will go direct in your house 11, house of parties, weddings, big celebrations, online dating, and you will be very busy. From April 30th to June the 5th, Venus direct will be in your house 11. When your ruler enters your sign in your house 1, you will feel magnetic, you will feel happy, beautiful. It grants the recovery, it grants the good negotiations and deals, it blesses you with beauty, money, and love. And when Venus will be in Taurus, mark those dates from June 5th to July the 4th. But the gifts of universe don't stop there. Venus also brings you income and brings you money, and Venus in your financial house is from July the 4th to July 29th. Many of my clients, they meet their significant others or their love when Venus enters house 5 or house 7. So for you, the dates when Venus will be in your house 5 are September 19th to October 13th, and Venus will be in the house 7, house of family and serious partnership and relationship, November 6th to December the 1st. If you're single, you have a high probability to meet significant other. And for people who are married, you will have all the chances to develop your romantic life to the next level or connect on a deeper level. When it comes to love for Tauruses, because you are the earth element, for you the great compatibility of the signs of the earth element is a great compatibility, especially if the ascendant like a magnet attracts you to each other and your relations are easy without any need for explanations or apologies, and it just feels right. Now let's speak about other planets. One of the planets that is still in Taurus will be shifting, will be changing the sign. It's Uranus. Uranus in Taurus is the planet of unexpected events, of freedom, of revolutions, of a big shift, something that you cannot predict. It's the planet of the risks. And being in your house 1, it caused a lot of unexpected events in your life, in your body, with your style or your fitness goals. And now Uranus, for a short amount of time, enters your house of finances, bringing the stir of energy and shake up your financial house. So you will have lots of interesting opportunities for second income or for the second job. So for the next 7 years from 2026, Uranus will be changing your values, will be changing your worldviews, your possessions, your job, your salary. From July the 8th to November the 9th, Uranus will be in your house 2, house of finances, and then it will go back to your house 1 to finalize something that has to be finished in order for you to prosper, and then it will enter your house 2 for the next 7 years. When Uranus comes into the house of finances, it usually brings the freedom and independency. You will be able to use your talents, your professional experience, and earn money, additional income, use the talents of other people in order to generate the income. And because in summer your ruler will be also in your sign, in your money house, don't be surprised if you will find a big amount of money or you will get a great money idea. Some financial abundance will just come to you if you're ready to receive it. If you don't have these financial blocks that you don't deserve it, or all rich people are bad people, if you don't have those blocks, financial abundance will come effortlessly to you as well as unexpectedly. So you already can prepare yourself to have some financial literacy and think of what would you do if you would have a big amount of money. Uranus in your financial house is good for innovations, creative ideas, breakthroughs, your personal independent financial progress. So, for example, if you're a student and your parents were supporting you, it would be the time when parents will tell you, okay, now you're on your own, do whatever you want with your life. First, it will be like a shock, but then maybe you will become so successful that you even will start supporting everybody else. Of course, it depends what is in your solar chart. Jupiter, the planet of gifts, expansion, big, great luck, is still in your financial house. From the beginning of the year until February the 4th, Jupiter is still retrograde, but then it will be still in your financial house, not just giving you second chances in anything regarding money, but also will give you a wave of luck with your intuition in your house 2 until June the 10th. And then from June 11th to July the 1st, 2026, Jupiter will be blessing you with a wave of luck in anything regarding house 3. It's the house of ideas, house of mind, it's house of advertising, marketing, contacts, communication, sources of communication, educational short cycles, back to school, any transportation, logistic businesses, as well as your closest surroundings, your siblings, roommates, everybody who is close to you. Definitely your circle of communication will be expanded. And for the first time in many years, 2 very slow planets, Neptune and Saturn, are changing the signs, entering Aries. And it means that they will be visiting your house 12. You will be finalizing something and you will be preparing the new chapter of your new life, new you. You will say goodbye to bad habits, addictions, unnecessary people, toxic relationships, and you will have opportunity to use the planetary energy to get rid of all unnecessary things in your life. The first planet that we will talk about is Neptune. Neptune is a planet of spirituality, of illusions, as well as big imagination, and it's as deep as the ocean. And you know, Neptune symbolizes the ocean. Neptune brings popularity far away from home in your house 12 in the foreign lands. It will bless you if you decide to immigrate. It will give you the ideas how to use your knowledge, your experience in the faraway lands, or working in the international companies with the foreigners, for example. Is the planet of astrology, esoterics, art, photography, design, everything that needs imagination. The cycle of Neptune is 14 years in every sign. Last time it was in the same house in the 19th century, so it's once in a lifetime opportunity for you to experience Neptune in your house 12. House 12 is a very private house, as I mentioned before. If you consider the creative jobs regarding house 12, you might think about work in a solitude, creating masterpieces, or it can be any sorts of therapy or therapy education. Everything regarding faraway lands, trips, travels, communication with foreigners, working in the ocean or in some geological firms. Everything regarding rejuvenation, medicine, healthcare, all sorts of nursing jobs, all the jobs that help people to heal, to elevate their spirituality. It can be also a research job or a detective agency. So Neptune will enter your house 12 just for a little bit, and then the next year it will step in for the next 14 years. So this year you will experience the embrace of the powerful Neptune from March 30th to October 23rd, 2025. Write down your money ideas. Write down your inspirational ideas. You will never know where the circumstances will give you an opportunity to create a movie or write a book or create the painting that will generate lots of money. But also keep in mind that Neptune for the next 3 years will be hand in hand or walking through your house 12 with Saturn. Saturn is a strict teacher, and you will be having an exam in your house 12, house of psychology, psychiatry, very private feelings, childhood trauma. So everything unfinished will be brought up to a surface. So you will have an opportunity to create order, harmony, and use discipline. So your house 12 will be spotless. Saturn in your house 12 will be like a junk removal service that will come and take away everything that you don't need any longer. Last time the location of Saturn was 29 years ago. Keep in mind that Saturn can create some delays, some obstacles that you will have to wait for 3 years in order to complete certain things, but you will still have to start right now in order to receive the results when Saturn will move into your house 1, changing the very core of your values, your body. Keep in mind that Saturn also minimizes things. If you would like to lose weight, it's also a good time to start healthy habits and healthy lifestyle now. And when Saturn will enter your house 1, you will be losing all the extra weight effortlessly and you will not be gaining it back. So Saturn right now is cleaning your house of friendship, big groups, online business, organizations, spiritual values. And then from May 25th to September the 2nd, Saturn will step in your house 12, and then in the retrograde phase, it will step back in house 11. And then in February 2026, Saturn will step in your house 12 for the next 2 years and a half. During this time, you might meet your love, especially it can be a foreigner, it can be a person from faraway land or a distant relation, maybe online relationships. Keep in mind that when Neptune and Saturn are in your house 12 and you have some romantic relationship, your partner might be cold-hearted, or it can be an older person or a wiser person, a person who has more money, for example, than you. And always check the compatibility of your ascendants. If you decide to create a family, avoid the days of the retrograde Venus. Once in a lifetime opportunity will be around February the 20th, when Neptune in Aries will conjunct Saturn in Aries in the 0 degrees of Aries in your house 12. It can be a major thing. For example, receiving the visa, relocation to a new place, getting the citizenship, or receiving the information about swear ceremony, receiving the contract from faraway land that you were dreaming about, or receiving the document that grants you the permission to live, work, or own foreign land. As I mentioned before, conjunctions like these, they don't often happen. And the second chance will be in summer, in the end of July, the beginning of August, when it will be a near passing conjunction of Neptune and Saturn in Aries in the 1st degree of Aries in your house 12. And for some couples who are struggling to conceive a child, it will be a window of opportunity, and the news about pregnancy could be very spontaneous and unexpected. House 12 is a private house, mysteries of the past, anything hidden that we don't see. It's also the house of pregnancy. Another planet that I would like to discuss with you is Mars. Mars from the beginning of the year is retrograde until February 23rd. And Mars is the planet of drive, energy, progress. So it will be less energy in the beginning of the year, but then after the 24th of February, it will have a more energy, like a snowball energy. And for you, it will be in your house 3. house of ideas, advertising, communication, transportation, trips, travel, school, education, logistics, siblings, roommates. It's the house of information. So there are pluses and there are some minuses. Please watch my video dedicated to Mars retrograde so you will not make any mistakes. Another important thing that I would like to mention, because in the constellation of Taurus on the 26th degree, there is a very evil star located, Algol. Please check if you have the Algol star, the head of a demon, in your birth chart, because it can affect your decisions as well as your travel plans. I'll just give you an example. When Algol is in house 8, a house of death or crisis or any traumas, and when it aligns or opposite or a conflict with Mars, the planet of fire, bullets, firearms, explosions, speed, and when it aligns with Uranus, which is unexpected, shocking, unpredictable events, and Algol star, it's always ahead in duration. And if you remember, in February 2024, it was the conjunction of Algol star with a karmic lunar node Rahu. The war in Ukraine started because Ukraine is under Taurus sign. In July 2024, it was the conjunction of Mars, Uranus, and Algol star in the chart of future president of the United States, Trump. And you know, he was almost shot, but because he is in Gemini and Jupiter right now is in the Gemini in his house of crisis, he got lucky. And Mr. President Kennedy, he was not that lucky. So it was the same opposition of Mars, Uranus, and Algol. So you always can check the transit chart for the future dates when you travel. If any of the stars conjunct or oppose with Algol star or any planet in the 26th degree of Taurus, and you can research in which house this combination is. If it's in the house 9 or in house 3, everything connected with transportation or moving, relocation, I would not recommend you to go on vacation or relocate somewhere. It's better not to test how deep all the situation is, because the stars, they can give you the hints, they can give you the warnings. Sometimes people have prophetic dreams before certain things happening, but most of the people, they either forget about their dreams or just ignore them, which is not a good thing to do, especially when Neptune enters house 12, house of imagination and subconscious. Pay attention, especially if your ascendants are in Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Where I calculated that. May, the first week of May, you have to pay attention and be very alert in which house this conjunction is between Mars, Uranus, and Algol. And on May 5th, this situation for Taurus is in the house 11, house of weddings, big groups of people. So stay away from protests or some crowded places the first week of May. Uranus will pass 26 degree Taurus also the last week of April. Pay attention to the health of your father or any father-like figure in your family. House 10 is house of your parents. Make sure they wear a helmet, for example, when they go on a bicycle. It's always nice to have a precaution when it comes to Algol star. It's no joke. More about this star, I will tell you in my video about Algol on my channel. Please check it out. And I have another video about Mars retrograde on my channel. Write down the things that resonates within your soul when you hear this information, because your intuition will be very in tuned right now this year. You have to learn how to listen to your heart. Next planet that I would like to discuss is Pluto. Pluto, a big transformer of our horoscopes, of our lives, entered your house 10 for the next 20 years. Pluto is a very slow planet with a big cycle. It will not come back to your house 10 in this lifetime, but also Pluto is the planet of big opportunities, big money, big investors. And having Pluto in your house 10, you can be sure that if you need finances, if you need any investors or sponsors, you will always have them. It will be easier for you to convince other people to invest in your firm. And I know most of you, dear Tauruses, you have a very nice financial literacy when it comes to money. When Pluto is in your house 10, it changes your status. And when we change our status, when we get married, get divorced, or we become parent or a student or a teacher, it can be also opportunities for immigration, relocation, new work contracts, new achievements. And if you get married, for example, Pluto creates very long-lasting marriages. And because Pluto signifies big amount of money, it can be more of your involvement in your life, big banks, investors, wealthy people. Pluto will be changing your occupation for better, giving you unlimited opportunities, especially when it will be aligned with Venus, your ruler. The greatest opportunity in 2025, when Pluto will have trine with Venus and Jupiter, will be July 7th, October 14th, and November 26th. Venus has a date, very romantic one, big opportunities for money, love, gifts, and winning on July 7th. And when Pluto will have a sextile, it's a 60 degrees with Venus, a very good aspect, also the portal of opportunities. It's February the 7th, March 21st, May 6th, and December 2nd. Mark those dates and plan something important on those days. You will see lots of things will be very easy to achieve when you plan on the right moment, right planetary aspects. Let's talk about Mercury retrograde. As usual, we have 3 times of Mercury retrograde this year, and the dates are from March 14th to April 7th. It will be in your house 12, house of finalization, ending. And when Mercury is retrograde, it's a great time to redo, review, refinance, create the balance, improve everything regarding ending, finalization, relaxation, release, cleansing, healing, or traveling to faraway lands, not for the first time, but to the places where you've been before or with people with who you've been before. It's also the house of charity. Maybe you will have the second chances regarding volunteering somewhere or getting the job offers on a cruise ship in the faraway lands, maybe remotely at work or in the places of isolation, like a remote island, for example. From July 17th to August 11, it will be in your house 4, house of your family, females, real estate, lands, landlords, tenants, official documents. Maybe you will have to redo something or resign the contract. Do not sign anything for the first time. Of course, I will create the new videos to remind you what's best things to do and what's best things to avoid during a retrograde Mercury phase. And the last retrograde Mercury we will have from November 9th to November 29th in Ophiuchus in your house 8, house of finances of other people or possessions of other people. The money of your partner's insurance. It's high probable that the money or income of your partners will be shifting, will be changing, and it will affect your mutual budget. Your ex-lovers will remember you and might reappear in your life. It's a good time for reconciliation, to get back together, but it will be totally up to you. Would you like to have the next cycle of the karmic rakes? Or maybe you were looking for the chance like that and you would like to get back together. House 8 is also house of esoteric, astrology, everything mystical, and you will have the second chances regarding these subjects. On January 12th, we have a big epic shift of the karmic lunar nodes, and the karmic lunar nodes are always moving in the counterclockwise directions, shifting your focus for the next 18 months into a new dimension. And before it was Axis, Aries, Libra, and now it will be Pisces, Virgo. So for you, dear Tauruses, your focus will be on house 11, house of your future, your dreams, your circle of friends, and of course, any business that lives online. And your South lunar node will be in house 5, something to finalize. I tell you everything about the lunar nodes that you have to know in my separate video dedicated to lunar nodes. I also have the time codes there. Please check it out. and lunar nodes affect where we will have eclipses during this year. So eclipses this year will be on March 13th in your house of love, relations with no responsibilities, art, inspiration, joy, performance, vacation, pleasures and joy. It's the same as when you have a new moon, it's the new beginning, energy for planting the seeds. It's a good time to put the seeds in the fertile soil. And when it's a full moon, it's better to get the harvest and collect those fruits of your hard work or your manifestation of your ideas. Solar eclipse will be on March 29th in your house 12, in your very private house where you have Neptune already and Saturn. It's a house of finalization, of cleansing. And on September 7th, it will be a lunar eclipse in your house 11, house of your friends, online businesses, groups, clubs, big organizations. It's always a climax. It's a very powerful time when algorithms for the next 18 years will kick in, and the choices that you make and decisions that you make during the eclipses usually stay for a long time. That's why many people, they try to avoid creating their teams or avoid getting married during the eclipses, because our emotional state is very uncertain, very murky, and some people might change their mind after. I will tell more about eclipses when we will come closer to them. On September 21st, there is a partial solar eclipse in your house 5, in house of love, joy, kids, inspiration, and very probably that you will receive the money for your art projects, or you will receive some verdict regarding your artwork, or maybe receiving the pregnancy news, because house 5 is the house of kids. And on March 29th, you have the eclipse in your house 12, which is also the house of pregnancy. It can be not just pregnancy with a baby, but it also can be a pregnancy with idea, when you have to nourish the idea or a project, creating something new in your head or with your hands. And by the end of the year, on September 21st, you will receive the clarity. If you are a person who is sensitive to lunar cycles, to the moon, here is the information for you that you should write down, especially if you have your ascendant in Cancer, because Cancer's ruler is moon. The new moon in Taurus, a very powerful time for manifesting your new reality, is on April 27th, 2025. It's a new moon in Taurus. And the full moon in Taurus, the climax, the result, is on November the 5th, 2025. This is when you can expect the results or the verdicts or the visible progress in the matters that you started around April 27th. It also can be a recovery for people who are sick. And one of the most interesting things that in many Tauruses, a part of the financial intuition, you might develop such a spiritual extrasensor abilities to predict the future, to see the unknown that other people will not be able, because of these planets, Neptune and Saturn, in your house of psychic, house of subconsciousness. What an interesting and beautiful year to start your dream book and write down your dreams and see the patterns, see the language and symbolism, how your subconsciousness is speaking to you. I wish you to have a fantastic year. Thank you so much for watching and for your comments. It warms my heart when you write a comment. Please keep them coming. I hope to see you in my future videos. Goodbye.